right, guys. Well, good to see you all here. Welcome to our Agent Wealth Builder Mastermind. Super excited as always to have you guys on this call. And it is really cool to see the momentum building on our team. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to share some slides with you and we'll go from there. Go ahead and share my screen. All right. Well, as you guys know, we are live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And we also air every Wednesday, every Friday as well at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So for those who either missed the live version of the call on Wednesday, it is made available to you and premieres every Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. So if you're watching now on YouTube or wherever you are, please just like, subscribe, share this video with those who you want to share this value with. So as you guys know, we are a mastermind, and that is part of the books that I share. One of the books, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, talks about the mastermind. And this is what we want to model on this call, just having the space where we can share ideas, we can just share value and be able to support and encourage each other. And it's incredible. And essentially, our game is to get 1 million people on the pathway to millionaire status. So we're doing that. And a big part of that is online, on social media, on YouTube. So check us out on YouTube. Please follow us, like, subscribe. We hit over 100 subscribers, which is fantastic. And our videos are gaining some traction. We had some amazing special guests on, and I'm just pumped for more guests on the way, which I'll share a little bit later on this call. You can also follow us on Instagram. So we are on Instagram, guys, as well, with the same handle, Agent Wealth Builder. And we are just constantly sharing kind of clips from these calls, clips from just other content that we're creating. And we just want to be of value to you on your journey to build wealth in real estate, in the equities market business. And our main focus being in real estate. So fantastic. All right, so I want to shout out our those who power our mastermind, and EXP is one of our special sponsors and for mastermind, and it's just great being a part of that. We have a global presence, so we are operating in 29, going on 30 countries, 30, and you can see some of those countries listed there. The US, Romania, Poland, Italy, Portugal, Spain, Germany, Brazil, on and on, and India, Hong Kong. This is fantastic. And with EXP, it's fantastic because you're not just working with buyers or sellers or doing referrals. There's opportunity for, we call it rev share, but it's revenue sharing. So as you add folks in your downline, there's opportunity to build wealth that way. There's stock ownership opportunities, tons of training and collaboration. And we are, like I mentioned, we're a global network. So shout out to EXP, such an amazing, thing to be powered by them. We are also powered by the Vista Realty Group. So I love being a part of our team. And again, our value prop is life by design. So everything from like this call, for example, our tools, our systems, our training is all by design. We designed it to be able to live the life that we want to live. And we're not looking for folks just to buy and sell real estate, but we're looking for folks to use real estate to fund their life and fund their dreams and do the things that they want to do with their life. So just an amazing sponsor, and just big shout out to Visit Realty Group, and glad to be a part of that. All right, so as I mentioned, we have an amazing lineup in August. Of course, today I'm on as a mastermind host, and I'm going to share today. I'm going to share a tip of the week. I'm going to share an important person and 3 books that you will enjoy. That's me on August 5th. August 12th, we have Meena Sharma, she is part of EXP Commercial and a business broker. She's incredible. I mean, she's just everything she shares is just fantastic, and really really excited to be able to have a conversation with her. Melanie Bauer is on August 19th, and she is a friend of mine, a part of Remax Prestige, and she's licensed in 3 states. Okay, that's North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. And she's also the host of House Talk, which is just a real estate focused show. And just she has amazing speakers on there too. So shout out to Melanie, excited for her. And as you know, in this business, things happen, people pivot, people will travel. So I do have a special guest pending for August 26th. So look out for that. And please continue to like, share, subscribe, and be a part of these calls. All right, so I know I mentioned connecting, guys. Here's some information that I put on the screen there. I'm sharing with you. If you'd like to connect with me via email, my email is there. Visit david@visitteam.com. Phone number, feel free to call, text if you'd like. Also online too. So if you want to DM me on Instagram or write a comment on YouTube, feel free to reach out in that way as well. Or you can just email Agent Wealth Builder directly at gmail.com. And as you go through these calls, if you're on here live with us, please feel free to type growth in the chat as well or in the comments, and I'll be sure to connect with you on a call one-on-one. So let's connect. All right, guys. So I want to drop this tip of the week. Okay. And I can go on and on about mental models and frameworks. It's a big part of the way I think. And try to use common sense and critical thinking and, trust the Holy Spirit and intuition. But what I also use to help me think is I use frameworks and mental models. And I'm just sharing one tip, and that's first principles thinking. I love this. This is my favorite mental model. So I want to start with this one first. It's used often in science and engineering. And again, just a few things, the points to note about that when it comes to any topic. So you want to define the problem and strip away assumptions. Okay. Then second step is you identify the facts, you separate truths from opinions, and the third thing is critical. And this is what makes it powerful is that you break it down into the fundamentals. Okay. So any topic that exists in the universe can be reduced to very simple building blocks. So that could be real estate, human nature, science, math, um, finance, investing. You strip it down to its core components, and then you do the second thing is the fourth point there, I guess, or rather, is you build from scratch. So you build from there. So you deconstruct to reconstruct. And then as you go, the fifth point there is test and refine. And I love this, and I could use a million examples. I talk about this all the time. Like music, for example, if you take music, which I love, and you strip it down to its core components, right? All the music that exists in the universe and in perpetuity is basically comprised of two basic building blocks, and that's time and melody. Okay, without one or the other, you don't have music. And one of the books I'll share, it'll break down successful real estate agents and what makes them successful and very basic principles as well. So I love first principles thinking. Definitely check it out. If you want more information, happy to share with you. But that's my tip of the week. Okay, now I'm going into person of the week, and I love Charlie Munger. And in light of the conversation about mental models and frameworks, Charlie Munger was a partner of Warren Buffett. They ran Berkshire Hathaway. He sadly passed away recently. So, but a great man and great figure, and he had a very practical way of thinking. And he coined the term lattice of mental models. So essentially, there are multiple mental models that you can use, but it's essentially using a framework of mental models intersectionally from multiple disciplines to make better decisions. So what's good about these is that mental models and frameworks is that they both amplify and multiply your mental processing power. So it allows you to make better decisions. So as you introduce AI or ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you're using, you're already in the rhythm of sort of like using these tools to multiply your mental processing power. So very cool guy. He again, you mentioned he invented the term the last of mental models. He's really big on inversion thinking. The second point there. So instead of thinking how to succeed, you ask what guarantees failure and avoid it. The third point that I love about Charlie Munger, he's always big on patience and just waiting for high quality opportunities rather than forcing things, which is huge for a lot of folks. And the fourth point, which I love, is just he really emphasized lifelong learning. And That was one of the tenets of Charlie Munger that I really appreciate. And the fifth note is he was really big on rational thinking. Just control your emotions and base your decisions on evidence, logic, and probability. And it's so interesting how much our emotions drive our decision making. And Charlie Munger really spoke to that. So may he rest in peace. Just a fantastic person. Charlie Munger is great. And again, guys, just dropping this note so you can see it. Let's connect if you want to connect as I move on to the next segment, which is our book review. All right, so I want to talk about this book, okay? The Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller, okay, written by with Dave Jenks and Jay Papasan. This essentially is if you're in real estate and you haven't read this book, you need to read this book. I mean, this is essentially the quote unquote the Bible of real estate. And this talks about the basic tools that every millionaire real estate agent follows. So those who are either earning or netting $1 million or more. And the main points on this is leads, listings, and leverage. So if you have those three things, lead generation, listings, and leverage, they're fantastic. And I just kind of note those points. He was big. Gary Keller was big on lead generation first. So essentially, you are in the lead generation business. Okay, so if you're in this thing, you're lead generating constantly. Okay, so it's super critical to remain building leads, blocking out time every day to consistently generate new business. Okay. The second thing is that he follows a proven model. You build repeatable systems instead of relying on talent alone. The third thing is you hire leverage. So once you kind of like get started, you hire leverage to delegate admin work so you could focus on high value activities. And the fourth thing, which is super important, especially in real estate, is knowing your numbers. You want to track your conversion rates, your appointments, your listings, your closings, and profitability, and that helps you. Without numbers, you won't know what to track. Okay, you won't know whether you're doing well or not, and it's super helpful to have. And the fifth point there is to think like a CEO. So as you build your business, build a business that grows beyond your personal production. So the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, I highly recommend it. I'm going to leave a link in the YouTube video as well. So please check that out. Fantastic book. The second book that I recommend is The Wolf of Wall Street by Jordan Belfort. And I love this book, and I know it's very controversial. You know, Jordan Belfort did what he did, The Wolf of Wall Street, and most of us have seen or heard of the video of the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. He did a great job, by the way. And the big thing with him in this book is in objection handling, and essentially. The main point that I took away from this is that every objection is essentially a smokescreen for uncertainty. So either someone's uncertain about either like you or your business or your product. So you have to get them closer to certainty on a spectrum from 0 to 10. So you want them to get the three tens. The fourth thing he mentions is essentially like the people's action threshold. So essentially like the higher the action, the higher they are to persuade. And the fifth thing is to focus on pain points. So as you're negotiating, focus on pain points, and you'll be able to kind of like understand them and where they're at. So those 5 points there are there. So number one, you build certainty with folks, and essentially, set point two is master communication. So that's tone, body language, and rapport. They're super important, just as important as the words you use. So as you're, doing cold calling and you're on the phone, your tonality is super important. Okay. The third thing, of course, in our business, guys, handling objections is a huge. So expect objections and prepare clear responses. You want to be confident and clear at all times. The fourth point is you control the sales process. So you want to guide the conversation with purposeful questions and a structured approach. And it always helps. I know it helps me a ton when I'm making calls. I just try to focus on that and just kind of stay in control the entire call and making sure I'm kind of guiding. What that means is guiding the prospect or the person you're talking to towards certainty. And the fifth point there is take massive action. So success in sales comes from disciplined, consistent activity, combined with skill improvement. I mean, you guys know this. So we're constantly improving skills practice, practicing your scripts, learning, doing conferences, on masterminds like this, and just learning value and giving value. It goes a long way. And here's the third book suggestion, and that is the Four Agreements. Okay. So now this is really big in this world, in this day and age where a lot of folks have issues with other people and have a hard time relationally. And the main point of this book, and this is by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a really book, and it especially talks about the light between each of us and how there's a light that is between us, and there's certain things that can muddy that light. So if you make these four agreements, it'll with yourself, it'll help you in navigating any relationship, may it be a business relationship, dating, and church, ministry, and otherwise. And those 4 points are the first point for there. The first one is to, first of all, with yourself, be impeccable with your word. So you speak truthfully and use your words to build and not to harm. So you speak life, positivity, in all the things that you do, and that's being impeccable with your word. Okay. And then this is with other folks. Now, point two is with other people. It's like, don't take anything personally. So usually other people's actions are a reflection of them and not you. So with all the hate going on and people not liking you or kind of like, kind of like shooting all this hate towards you, understand that it's not your problem. It's a problem with their own heart. This was big to me when I read that. The third thing is to not make assumptions with what other people. So ask questions to seek clarity instead of guessing. You don't want to guess what people are thinking and doing and making assumptions based on that. You can ask them, have some conversation, and find out where they're at, where their heads at, their perspective, and it'll help to clear up any misconceptions. And I love that so much. And the fourth thing is to always do your best. Okay, your best will vary, but if you're consistent, then that'll lead to growth and peace. And I guess it's really important to remember to practice these daily because it's really easy to veer off track. So it's why I love the daily practice. So the Four Agreements, I love that book. I just want to share that value with you on this call. So, guys, as you go through, guys, thank you so much for being on the call. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. We're there, ajwealthbuilder.com. The handle's there, as well as Instagram. We are on Instagram, and we're building, we're growing. So, really excited to see the growth and all the feedback and the connection and improvement that's happening on our end as well. So, thank you guys for your comments and feedback. Super helpful. And let's connect, guys. I'm leaving this here, and I will leave my contact information in the description so you guys can reach out and connect. I'm happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you to help you grow your career and business and talk through. So thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great week. Take care, and let's continue to grow and build.